is Vina D. I add my own personal twist to entertainment news, and so I decided why not brand myself and name it Entertainment News. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Yesterday was a hectic day for people that live in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, been in Atlanta for over 10 years, and we already have terrible traffic, especially around rush hour. So, yesterday was a nightmare when one of the landmarks and historic and very important interstate I-85 collapsed yesterday. Um, we are all very happy and glad that although the traffic was terrible, parents couldn't get home to the children stuck in traffic, and it was that situation and side of things was terrible. We're glad that no one was injured or no lives were lost yesterday, and so far it's being investigated, but there's no reports of any type of terrorist attack or foul play. So we are happy about that. But I'm going to go ahead and share some videos of the fire and some images, and also going to provide different routes that you guys can take as far as escaping that. So for the people who already live here, I'm sure you all are aware of the different roads to take and different ways to go. But for those who are visiting, I'm going to go ahead and provide alternatives that you can take to get around. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Some of you might have to add an extra hour to your commute because of this. It's going to take months for this to be resolve, but let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and share some videos now, and then I'll come back and provide different roads. And some of you say routes, some of you says routes. So I'm going to come back and provide that.
Look at this smoke though.
This is traffic on 85 northbound. I don't know how, but they have somehow managed to get all these people turned around and headed back southbound in the northbound lanes. Now, this bit of traffic, which is a lot of cars right there, what they're doing, they're getting them down here to this Buford Spring connector ramp. So you see they're just taking them across this little grassy patch here. They're putting them onto the Buford Spring connector northbound ramp, but they're not able, of course, to travel all the way up back onto I-85 with it. They're being forced to travel and exit off onto the Monroe exit here. So that's what that traffic's being forced to do. If that traffic is stuck there, they will end up having to get off onto the Monroe Piedmont ramp here off of the Buford Spring connector northbound.
Okay, so for those who live in Atlanta, I'm sure that most of you already know what to do and where to go. Those who travel downtown for work have already found, different ways to get around this nightmare. For those who are visiting, I'm sure you guys have Google and can check and find things out. But I figure I still add to the list anyways. So for those who use Interstate I-85 to go downtown all the time or to work. The highway is going to remain closed, of course, indefinitely. I-75 at Brookwood split to North Drew Hills Road will remain closed. Georgia DOT is advising drivers to use Interstate 285 and Interstate 20. If possible, please use Interstate 285 and Interstate 20. That's the detour you will use. For the drivers on Interstate 85 headed north, you will be diverted to I-75 north at the Brookwood split near 17th Street. For the drivers who use Interstate 85 headed north, you will be diverted to I-75 north at the Brookwood split near 17th Street. For the southbound traffic on I-85, those people will be diverted to Georgia 400 north. So those drivers will be diverted to Georgia 400 north. And the drivers headed south on Georgia 400 will be diverted at the Sidney Markers Boulevard. Sidney Marcus Boulevard exit. That's where you would have to go. So for those who use downtown, 85 I-85 to go downtown, 285 and Interstate 20 will be what you will use. For those drivers that's headed 85 north, you will use I-75 north at the Brookwood split near 17th Street. And then for those who use I-85 southbound, you will have to use Georgia 400 north. And for the drivers headed Georgia 400 south, you'll be diverted to use the Sidney Marcus Boulevard exit. And then for those people who are in Gwinnett and everywhere else, of course, MARTA will be available to assist. But the southbound express lane will operate the HOV 3 plus only from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So for today, Friday, those who are from Gwinnett County, the express lane would operate for HOV, which should be 3 plus only from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Friday. And also the express lane southbound will be in use as well. The signs will change back when the toll goes back into effect. The northbound lanes will not be affected. All right, so we have that. And for those of you who live on Piedmont Road or who use Piedmont Road close to the 85 I-85 collapse, Piedmont Road will be closed in that area. The detour for Piedmont Road, you have to take Sidney Marcus Boulevard and Beaufort Highway and Cheshire Bridge Road. So for those who live close to the Piedmont Road area where the I-85 bridge collapsed, your detour would be for Piedmont Road. You would take a Sidney Marcus Boulevard, Beaufort Highway, and Cheshire Bridge. Of course, you can go to all of the different news websites to get more information. You all be safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Get your cars back for those of you who had to leave your cars on the highway. I pray that everything worked out for all of you. Have a wonderful and marvelous and prosperous weekend. And with that being said, I want to leave you guys with the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. And even though people might have, they had to leave their homes yesterday to avoid the smoke and water being spilled all over the place and people having to abandon their cars and the children being stuck in daycares and people coming from work hungry had to use the bathroom. Some people were sick but had to sit in that traffic, deal with that. There was so many inconveniences that happened yesterday. But the positive in all of that is that as long as you're breathing, as long as you have life, as long as you're on this earth, you have the opportunity to make any dreams reality. You have the opportunity to buy that car back, to get that job back, to return to that job, to return to your homes. So that's the positive in all of that. So that's why I always push the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. And when you live your life like that, it really does help you escape certain things, escape depression, escape the woe is me attitude. There's nothing wrong with venting and having a moment of being frustrated, but always try to find a silver lining in every situation, and I promise you, your life will be a lot better. With that being said, you all have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. I'm praying for Atlanta. I'm praying for all of the families going through it. All of the people that had to leave their cars on the highway, all of the people that have to absolutely get to work because they live paycheck to paycheck and cannot afford to not work today and having to deal with all of the extra things that come with this situation, having to put their kids in daycare early even though they can't afford it. I pray that God provide them, with the means to do that. So, okay, guys, you have a wonderful weekend and God bless.